Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the People's News. I'm your host, Tim Black. I got two stories for you today that I think you need to check out, especially if you're a guy who's considering the men's rights movement and if you're concerned with men's rights. There are two stories we need to talk about, and I know the way I'm going to cover these stories, some people may have an issue with it, but hey, we need to have these conversations, all right? So, okay, the first story happened in New Jersey. All right, it's a cop. Cop's name is Phillip Seidle. Phillip is married to Tamara Seidle. They go through a divorce. All right. In a divorce decree, or I should say the complaint for divorce, not decree. She alleges some very horrible things. She says, her husband of 23 years, Phillip, was abusive. That he was addicted to video games and pornography, that he had several extramarital affairs, that he, when she tried to confront him on certain issues, he was abusive, that he kicked her in the stomach when she was pregnant, that he punched her in the eye and blacked it, that he pulled a gun on her, a number of things she alleges in a complaint, okay? That's all there in black and white. But it's important to know, guys, I want to point this out. None of these, this complaint is for divorce. There are no police records. All right? Police records, that would be a different thing. No, she didn't call 911 and say, I got punched in the eye. No. She's talking about divorce when she filed for divorce. All right. Another thing that's important to note is that they had 9 children. At the time of her death, which is the reason why I'm doing this story, ages were 7 to 24. She had full custody of the children. It's another thing. Okay, so now you see what I'm saying? How this is coming together? So, if you're married to someone for 23 years, he's a police officer for 22 of those years. All right? He's abusive. Why are we still in the marriage? She said because she wanted to try to keep the family together. Okay. Well, this is what happens. May 27th, the divorce is final. Free to go. All right? They had already been separated back in 2013. All right? The custody battle was very contentious. He's very upset because he didn't have enough time with the kids, according to him. According to her, the kids don't want to spend time with him. He's volatile, he's abusive, these things. Okay, so that's what she's alleging, right? A couple days ago, he chases her down, rams his car into the back of her, causing her to stop, jumps out his car, approaches the vehicle, they get into an argument, and then he shoots into the car. Now, when he shoots into the car, this officer, his daughter, his 7-year-old daughter is in the car as well. At the time of the shooting, he's shooting into a vehicle that has his child in the car. He shoots the wife and wounds her. Police come. There is a standoff. They will not shoot Phillip. They know Phillip. Phillip is a sergeant on the police force. Are you getting it? Phillip has a gun at his head. He's pointing at the car, pointing at his head, pointing at the car. He says, you guys don't understand. This woman's keeping me from my kids, and I'm tired of paying alimony. Eventually, one of the officers is able to talk him into letting the daughter go. Once the daughter leaves the vehicle, he shoots in the car some more. He kills his wife. The officer still will not shoot Phillip. Hey, they like Phillip. Phillip's a friend. They won't shoot him. And eventually, they talk him down. He does not shoot himself. So he's doing court for his charges. Now, that's the first story. And I got to say, man, there are some people that want to point out the estrangement of the marriage. They're blaming the dead wife. And look, I want to support men's movements. I want to support guys who are paying too much for child support and alimony. Heck, any of us, any man could be in that situation at any time, depending on the way the wind blows or the way the woman is feeling. I just did the story of Malak Compton Rock, and Chris Rock, and how the prenup expired. Now she won't have his money. She didn't tell near a joke. And she's lived very well off and hasn't really worked in 20 years. But now she wants to live like a person who's still living with Chris Rock. and still married to him. All right? So I know, I understand, and I'm with you. But I can't be with you when you support men who shoot their ex-wives in front of their 7-year-old daughter. I can't do it on good conscience. See, I know some people don't have ethics. They don't have a conscience. They have nothing. But what they do have are subscribers and people who view their videos. That they have. Because there are people out there who are so hurt and upset and bitter and just, they got this cloud of hate and they love the way certain people feel it. I can't co-sign it. I will not co-sign. A man, a cop. I want to really point at the fact these cops didn't shoot this cop. Instead of shooting him, you know what they did? They hugged it out. They hugged it out after it was over. Some of them were seen sobbing as they patted Phillip Seidle, the killer, on his back after shooting his wife in front of their 7-year-old child. We just had Officer Brelo jump on the hood of a car and shoot 15 times in it. And officers refused to testify against that man. But we have a certain segment of America that believes cops are always right. Some of you women out there who will gladly hold them damn signs up supporting cops no matter what happens. What do you do in this case? And don't get me wrong, I want to be against the wife. I do. I think it's BS, or I smell something funny when somebody's been married 23 years and then they can talk about all this stuff that happened during the marriage, but they were still there. I mean, you're saying he kicked you in the stomach even if it was the last child you had. That would be 7 years ago because now your youngest is 7. So 7 years ago, you got kicked in the stomach. And now you want a divorce? I don't get it. And I know I'm not being sensitive to the traumatic experience of being an abused wife. I know. But somehow you got up the gumption to finally do it. And here's my thing. A lot of times when people get up the power or the esteem to do it, it's because they have someone else. That's right. Someone else is now in their ear telling them that good stuff. And now they want to go on with life and be with someone new. And I get it, all right? So that's my first story. But, guys, I can't ride with you on it. And as much as I want to, I won't. All right? The other story happened in Coralville, Iowa. A mall cop. I don't know what's going on with the cops today. Mall cop kills girl. Well, very young woman. He's 22, she's 20. About the same age. She filed sexual harassment charges against him. His name is Kozak, Alex Kozak. He killed Andrea Farrington because he lost his job because she said he was sexually harassing her. Alex went home, picked up his 9mm, came back, and shot this woman 3 times at work. In the back. Now, the Young Turks covered that story. I'll say their name. The Young Turks covered that story. Why? Because they wanted to point out the fact that he was a gun owner, that he was a conservative. How about the fact that he's just damn crazy? Like Chris Rock said, whatever happened to crazy? Everybody's got an excuse. I said the same thing with Rachel Dolezal. Oh, but she's really a very caring. Whatever happened to crazy? What happened to crazy? But okay. All right, so this guy, he kills this girl. For whatever reason. Now, on the Young Turks are saying this is horrible, and I agree, it's horrible, it's horrific. But we really don't know what happened between these two people. But my thing is, stop playing up the gun ownership part. What does that got to do with it? He didn't go back home and get an AK-47 and shoot up the whole mall. He came back, he shot one person. This woman. Now, some people are saying it's possible he didn't harass her. And he did it out of anger because now he's lost his job. He's got a family. And she just took that from him. That's why they say they don't believe her. Because the man didn't have a record. He had no history of violence. And the fact he open carried in the state you can open carry does not necessarily make him a bad guy. So Anna Kasparian, you need to calm down a little bit. Young Turks, I told you I'd work with you, but I can't work with you if you're going to do this shit. You know, because this is sad. Somebody's got to point out the hypocrisy. All right? So we could disagree and all that shrilly voice stuff. But I would do the same thing if it was a feminist. If a feminist killed a man unarmed, then I would do the same. No, you wouldn't, Anna. Keep it real. So my thing is this, guys. Here it is. Let me lay it down. I want to support guys, and I want to support men who are being siphoned off of the fuel, the gas tank of life, like in a Mad Max movie. I want to support you when these women are siphoning off your gas and leaving you barren in the desert. I want to, but damn it, when you shoot and kill somebody unarmed, I can't ride with you. That would make me a hypocrite. And men, if you don't take any responsibility for choosing thoughts, for choosing hoes, for choosing women with 3 and 4 kids by 3 and 4 different dudes, thinking now that they met you, they done changed. If you don't stop choosing women based on looks, as if that's some type of reflection of who they are inside, is on their breast size or ass size or waist size, look, man, then I can't ride with you because you're not smart enough to be ridden with. I'm just keeping it real with you. All right? Trying to work with you. Now, look, guys, I got a little dilemma, and I want you to comment. Now, look, this is 3-part video. I know it's kind of long, but it's a 3-part video. Next is, I'm looking at working with some bigger YouTubers, some people who are on YouTube but not YouTubers, and there's a difference. On one hand, I got Dr. Boyce Watkins. You guys know the good doctor. Him and Benjamin Dixon. I kind of like what they got going on with their platform. All right. And unlike some people, they're willing to share it. All right. Or potentially share it. Right. So I'm going to campaign for that. And we have the Young Turks who are sorely in need of black representation, diversity in the way of a black person. Come on, man. They need some chocolate to go with all that peanut butter and all that vanilla over there. They need a little humor. Besides Jimmy. I like Jimmy, but they need somebody else. And Ben. Both of them can be funny, but Jimmy especially. Okay, but they need somebody a little bit different. I could see that, can't you? So you guys let me know who you think I should go with. Dr. Boyce Watkins, strong black platform, with Benjamin Dixon, my buddy, my people over there, young guy doing this thing, or the Young Turks, very well established, but kind of totally in the tank from the liberal point of view, but in need of black representation. Let me know in the comment section what you think. And also, back to the core matter, what do you think about these stories I covered today? Do I sound like I make sense? I want to support the men's rights movement. I want to support men getting equal treatment when it comes to the courts, when it comes to custody, when it comes to alimony. I do not think a man should have to support his wife forever when they're no longer married, when she can go marry somebody else or get a job like he had to get. All right? At some point, there's a cutoff point. There should be. But I refuse to ride with you when you shoot unarmed women in the back 3 times because you lost your $15 an hour job, or because you went through a divorce and now you want to shoot mama, the wife, in front of your back. I can't co-sign that. I refuse to. What does that make you, boy Tim Black? You guys let me know. I'm Tim Black. All comments below. There will be no beef. You feel the way you feel. I feel the way I feel. I've expressed myself. Express yourself. I'm Tim Black. This is the People's News. It's crazy.